Corn is a critical part of the diet for most beef animals, and as a result, there is a close relationship between corn growers and cattle producers. In fact, many people around the country make a living growing corn and also raising cattle. Today, we're going to dig into the vital relationship between corn and cattle and discuss some of the common challenges and opportunities facing both industries. Here to talk more about this partnership is Matt Frostic, a corn and beef farmer from Michigan who also serves as a member of the Corn Board of the National Corn Growers Association. Matt, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you being here. Talk a little bit about the really deep connection between corn and beef and the value that they serve each other.
So beef is one of our number one consumers of corn, not only whole kernel, but also the dry distillers. So it's a pretty important component when you think about the corn grind that we have to have in our industry, not only to grind that corn as a whole, but also when we talk about producing the energy components with corn in the liquid fuels market, we have that byproduct of dry distillers that the livestock industry consumes, and it's very important to our industry, really.
Yeah, and it really obviously helps out those that are feeding cattle and using that on their cattle as well. So there's obviously nutritional benefits, of course, to feeding cattle corn and those byproducts you mentioned. Maybe talk a little bit about what other benefits feeding corn to cattle brings in terms of performance and quality.
So corn brings a huge aspect of marbling quality to the carcasses, and also the dry distillers is an important component to that carcass quality. On our farm with our rations, that's we've noticed that using those two components have really improved carcass quality through our feed sources and stuff.
You know, grain-fed, corn-fed beef, there's just no comparison for that. And there's a lot of people that want that product both here and overseas. How does the partnership maybe between the two associations really help drive demand for both corn and that great corn-fed beef?
So in our minds, we want a strong domestic industry, and it can't happen without beef. We're always trying to move corn overseas by the bushel, but more importantly, if we can move it through a value-added product, we're producing jobs locally or within our country that helps everyone. So, and more importantly, when you can add value to a product, you look at, a bushel of corn is a bushel of corn, but when you can put it into a carcass and add value to it, then you differentiate yourself from the others.
Yeah, and it's so great to create that product. Creating growing both corn and beef requires a lot of work and a lot of resources, and sustainability, of course, is top of mind for both industries. Maybe talk a little bit about the partnership between the two and how both industries really benefit each other in raising their sustainability.
Sure. So that's one of the big things. We sometimes we shy away from that sustainability word as in agriculture, and we really need to look at a lot of the things that are important to that component we already do. The U.S. has such a natural industry or ability to produce beef, sustainable beef. You have the ranges on the west side and the hills on the east side where we can raise cattle on grass. And then we have corn in the middle where we can finish them. And it's such a natural progression where we can take a calf to market and use corn in the middle to finish that steer. So,
Matt, that's a great point about using that great corn product in the middle of the country to bring those cattle in there to be fed and do so in a really efficient way. It also creates such a great quality product that really has a lot of demand overseas on a global scale. Maybe talk about the importance of the partnership in creating that export opportunity in those export markets.
So as a corn grower, we're always trying to add value to our product, and beef is one of the best ways we can do that. And as the world demands more protein and higher value quality protein, we found that beef is one of those options that we're very competitive with, and not only competitive from a flavor and a taste standpoint, but also from a value standpoint of how we can produce it sustainably and affordably to this world market.
Yeah, our export consumers and export folks that buy our beef overseas have really got to appreciate what our producers here do so well to provide them that product. Thank you for your time here today. Thank you for the partnership, because I know it really drives a lot of value for both members of the Beef Association and the Corn Growers Association. We really appreciate all your work.
We appreciate it too. Thank you.
The National Corn Growers Association represents nearly 40,000 due-paying corn farmers nationwide, and the interest of more than 300,000 growers who contribute through corn checkoff programs in their states. To learn more about how they are building future markets for corn, visit the website ncga.com.